Good morning, Baka-Talk viewers. This is Pyrolis here on the radio today. Here with me, I have right across from me, Boom.
Hello, everyone.
To my right side, I've got Ramen Cat.
Evening.
And to my further right side, I've got Weed.
It's the Baka-Talk Show.
Okay, so Ramen Cat says it's evening. Pyrolis says it's morning. What freaking time is it?
We're all on different time zones. You should know this by now.
Oh, right, because currently, Weez is extradited to Colombia
Yep.
for possible drug charges.
And his girlfriend is mad at him again.
That's true. How's that divorce going?
Oh, it's going fine.
Nice.
You should have just told her the truth by her husband. I mean, I don't see why that was so difficult.
I don't know how it's so hard.
I don't even know what's going on. It's
You sit her
it's
down.
Too complicated
you say,
for
I
me
got
to understand.
divorced, and I'm gonna divorce you.
Yeah, it's just boggling my mind. I'm married. I've been divorced. I am getting divorced. I'm not even married. She's just my girlfriend. I'm so confused. It's a whole situation.
You're just doing it for the money. Like, I don't know why you're not honest about
Hey,
that.
wait until you have to split custody for the children.
I feel so
I
bad
don't
for the
even know where the
dog.
children came from.
That's why you're in Colombia.
It's a whole deal.
Well, you see, when a mommy and a daddy love each other very much, the daddy
And then Ramen
pulls out
Cat
the
gets
belt.
involved and boom,
Oh.
children.
Whoa.
Well, you are a demon, so.
Yes, but no, just no children.
No. All right, fair enough. Well, that was a weird opening. Pyrolis,
Yes,
so you're leaving.
I am leaving. Yeah, this is my last time here.
Yeah, so not last time.
Oh,
Last
If
time
this is the
ever.
last time, then
for a
some like
while.
Star Troopers crap happened at boot camp. And,
Last time for a little bit, yeah.
yeah, so how long are you actually gonna be gone? So like theoretically, you could come back for like an episode in like what, 2 months?
2 months, 2 weeks,
2 months, 2 weeks. So
and 10 weeks altogether, yeah.
10 weeks.
And then I'll be gone again.
Okay, so I don't know, because I've edited out a couple spots, and I could have swore I left one spot in, but what are you actually leaving for?
The Army, U.S. Army.
The Army. Nice. Okay, so you're going to go serve our country.
Yep.
Nice.
Infantryman.
Yep, infantryman. Cool. And then you were also telling us about the fact that you're already leveling up.
Yeah, I'm E2.
You're E2.
E2.
So how does ranking work? You're E1.
What's the power level?
Yeah,
of
like
each
what's the
rank?
power scaling? Like, is like E2 equal to Super Saiyan 3 or 2?
Yeah, no, E2 is basically rookie 2.0,
Rookie 2.0.
I guess will be the...
Okay.
Because I'm still the stupid private that they got. They used a different word, but I can't say that because it's a family-friendly podcast.
I mean, I could make this explicit podcast.
No, it's fine.
Do it.
The dumbass private is what every private is called until you're no longer the dumbass private in at least E3, I think. E3, E4.
Nice.
Because rank 2, PV2 isn't that high up there.
PV2 sounds like where you reach like the areas where you can do player versus player gameplay.
I can, except for there's no respawn.
So it's like those games where like you die and you just go to a different match.
Think of Call of Duty, just no healing and no respawn.
So when the bots are cranked.
So
to max-
CS:GO.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just drops you in another match, no
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah, but I don't get another match.
You just get
What
booted
if-
No, you
to
just get
another
reincarnated
Yeah,
into
what
another
if
world.
every time you
Yeah.
die, anyone who ever dies in war just gets reincarnated to another war that they're enlisted in?
I feel... Oh,
So they're
that's
just-
how the Demon King gets his army?
Yeah, so if you
This is literally just Valhalla.
die, you get reincarnated into another war. So you actually have to like be good enough to get through the war to like survive the loop of just dying in battle over and over again.
This does legit sound like an anime.
That sounds like
It's just Call of Duty.
a
Call of Duty,
great
the
story.
anime.
You get so invested in one world and then the guy dies and you're just like, "No, did they win the war?"
So I guess what's like, do you have a overall goal of like what you want to do career wise in the army?
It's gonna depend on how I feel about it. Because everyone's experience in the army differs. It depends on who ends up being your squad leader and your troop leader and who you end up getting squatted up with.
Yeah, it depends how many times you're going to get swirlied in the toilet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, depending on how everything goes, if I like it, I might make a career out of it. If I do, I'm going to see if I can't go Delta.
So what's your plan like right now? Like if everything went air quotes okay, what you thinking?
I'm going to do my best in boot camp. Try to get, because if I do really good in boot camp, they'll suck me for Ranger.
Okay.
Either Ranger or Green Beret. I'm going to see if I can't do that.
Oh, that'd be sweet. Become a what's that that one character from Call of Duty everybody's like simping over? A Ghost. He just becomes
He's
Ghost.
not new. Ghost has been there.
Okay, the new Ghost, because they kind of redid his character a
They
little bit.
redid him and Soap.
Yeah.
They redid everyone
They're
basically.
simping over the new Ghost just because there's that meme of him staring across of your character.
Well, the thing that's funny is that those masks are a real thing. Masks like that.
Those masks are sweet.
Well, they actually use them in military
Yeah.
because of the simple fact that you said this was an explicit podcast, all right?
Yeah, I'm toggling the button,
Okay,
so it's rated explicit.
all right. Yeah, who wouldn't shit themselves if they just saw a skull in the middle of the night when
true.
when you're in the comfort of your own home?
There was a Call of Duty Ghost. The actual Call of Duty Ghost game. That's their intro.
No, Ghost was in the original Modern Warfare series.
Yeah. No, I mean like, you remember in Call of Duty Ghosts the intro? No, it wasn't. Spec Ops, Ghost Ops, Tom Clancy's Ghost Ops. Yes.
Ghost Recon?
Yes. Where they're talking about how you like become a ghost.
I don't know. I didn't.
You didn't play that? Okay. I'm
If I'm not shooting monsters, aliens, or demons, I usually don't play it.
Oh, the Tom
Tell you what,
Clancy
the
games
Asians are
good.
monsters.
Wait, what?
In the game, they're monsters. They're terrifying. I didn't mean that in a racist way. I just mean they're really good at it. That's all I meant.
So in the new Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2,
Yeah.
they're fighting Asian?
No, the Asian players are very hard to defeat.
Oh!
You know you're gonna lose if an Asian tag is on the other side.
I know what
gotcha.
he means
Okay.
when you get paired up against like a Chinese player of a video game.
Oh yeah, you're
You,
screwed.
you just
I'm not-
sit there, you spawn, and you just off yourself for them.
I'm not speaking bad against you guys. Good on you for being that good, and your women are like very hot. I just, I didn't mean anything bad against you.
That's kind of funny.
And this is how we get canceled.
What do you mean? We're an explicit podcast.
Yeah, we're an explicit for the episode that I'm gone. Well, gonna be gone.
I'll have to.
You can. Well, hang on a second. So you're leaving for boot camp Wednesday,
Yep.
the day this podcast releases.
Yeah.
So technically, you could listen to it on the bus ride.
I'll be officially the 17th is when I'll be going down Lansing.
Oh,
The
that's you said 18th.
The 18th is when they put me on the airport.
Oh, so you have to spend the night.
I spend the night in Lansing,
Oh,
which means another day in the hot tub.
so they get you in a hotel then?
Yeah, the Radisson over in Lansing.
Okay, I've never been there, so.
I think I'm just doxing myself. Good thing this will be out the day that I'm gone.
You're like, I'm gonna be at this location at this time.
You want to say your hot tub schedule by chance?
Oh man, not gonna lie. As soon as I get there,
Yeah.
unless there's like cool people, because like the first time I went there, the only cool person was the one that went with me to the hot tub, and he ended up being my battle buddy.
How's he your battle buddy? Neither of you have been in combat yet.
The battle buddy is just someone who you sign with, like you stick with them.
Oh, okay.
What do you mean stick with him? Like he's gonna go to boot camp with you?
No, he's already in boot camp. Like when you're
When you-
generally, you want to team up with someone when you're in a setting like that. In general, there's someone that you try to team up with for the most part.
Oh, so when you were doing the Lansing thing?
Yeah,
at
he
the
was my
academy.
battle-
Okay, gotcha. That's the guy that you met.
He was my battle buddy for Lansing.
So for non-socially awkward people, that's usually when you find somebody to talk to.
Yeah.
Socially awkward people just do it alone,
Well, you're not supposed to do it alone. This is the thing. You're supposed to be in pairs of at least two.
which is why a lot of socially awkward people don't join the military, I think.
He was the only. He had. Only reason I know this because he had prior experience because he was in the Marines.
Oh, okay.
Wait,
Before
he went from the Marines and switched to the Army.
Yeah.
He wanted to go to easy mode.
I don't know from the things he. I digress. I don't want to start arguments on which one's better.
Yeah, some of the army buddies might listen to you.
Well, no,
On
just
this
from some of
podcast.
the stuff he was saying, sounds like Army's a lot better. But anyways, I digress. Like I said, I'm gonna get back to So yeah, no. First time I had him with me for Lansing. The second time, no one had ever done anything like that before. I was kind of like, I was the only one that knew there was a hot tub.
Okay.
No one else knew the existence of a hot tub. So basically, when I got there, also not many people were that sociable with other people for a bit. So I just went off and went to the hot tub by myself until about dinner time around 8. And then I got up and, not 8, it's like 6 o'clock.
I was gonna say, no way does the military serve dinner at 8 o'clock.
6 o'clock is dinner. So I went and got food, and then I met some people that were actually, they're finally talkative now, so talked with them, had some fun.
They're
made some
probably
plays.
half drunk.
No, they're all under. I was the only one that was of drinking age.
Oh, I forget. You're technically going in kind of old
Yeah,
for like
a
military.
little more mature. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bright side, my recruiter said I might have a little more respect from the other people because like there's gonna be E3s and E4s that are on my age.
Yeah. That makes sense.
But yeah, no. Other than that, there were definitely a lot of dipshit younger guys there. For some reason, guys, when you're high school and just out of high school, you're not that smart,
No.
but you think you are.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It was like kind of comical watching them.
Well, I mean, technically everybody that's that age is like that. Unless you're like a super humble, super mature. Like
Yeah.
teenager. Most of the time you feel like you got things figured out by the time you're 18.
I don't know. There was like 3 girls that were going to the military that were there, and they were all from more of like right-leaning families. They're calm, a lot better to talk to, and we played Jenga. The guys buzzed off to Meyer and stayed out past curfew, which I'm surprised they didn't get in trouble for.
Probably because they weren't actual military property yet.
Probably. In all honesty,
Yeah.
probably, yeah. But then after that, well, now it's gonna be like my 3rd time going down there. I'm hoping that either there's someone there that I'm gonna recognize, or there's someone that's done this before. That would be like, hey, hot tub. I don't want to be alone this time. You're going with me. I love the hot tub, but it's so boring just sitting in a hot tub by yourself
Yeah.
with no one to talk to.
Yeah, I get that. I would not want to just like be in like this giant tub by yourself.
Yeah, I was here for like 4 hours, and like,
That sounds great.
I would
oh, it
love
was great for the
that
first hour.
if I could also like do something else.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
just-
if I had like a TV or something, I was like watching like a movie.
Working on a video while in a hot tub, just frick! I fried my computer.
Dang, I
Weez,
guess
you're a workaholic.
I'm-
Just don't put those two words together. You're not working
Well, it
on
would
a
be
video
great.
and being in a hot tub.
That
No.
would be great. That sounds like a great
No,
experience.
that's not a great
That
experience.
sounds amazing to me. I want to sit in a hot tub and work on my videos.
Can anybody else back me up?
And then,
That's
like,
not.
I would just be content to sit there and actually hold still for a second and just be like, listen to the bubbles.
Oh
feel
yeah,
the
that's
steam,
great too.
And just nothing else.
I just
around.
played my music and turned on the whirlpool setting.
I feel like I know it's not this, but I feel like Pyrolis is just swirling in the tub, like wee.
He's
was
like,
great.
"This is pretty great. I'm gonna turn it up. Oh frick! Oh frick! Oh frick!" Ah!
And then if I got used to the hot temperature of the water, I would just jump in the pool, get super cold and used to the pool temperature, go back in the hot tub.
What happened to Private Pyrolis? He drowned in the hot tub.
He turned into a prune.
He turned
Hanging
up.
old men now.
He turned up the whirlpool.
He boiled all
the
of his
way.
muscles away.
So since you're not gonna be here for a while, and since it's been probably ages since anyone's talked about this,
I'm
kind
gonna
of
be gone
stuff,
for 10 podcasts.
That's a long time. In
Well, you're gonna be gone
podcasting.
for 10 podcasts.
10,
Back for
11.
like maybe 2, depending on how those
If
2
your
weeks
family
go.
doesn't like
Yeah.
swarm you,
And
eat
then,
up all your
I don't know
attention.
when you'll be
Better
back.
not swear.
Because we don't know how the internet situation is going to go. We don't know how your setup situation
Yeah,
is going to
then
go.
we're not gonna know when I'm gonna get back. I'm
So,
gonna be
like-
gone for at least 14 weeks if everything
Right.
checks out. At least 14 weeks because I gotta take OSIT, which is Boot Camp 2.0.
Oh, that's not what I thought he said.
You have to take the oh shit.
It is OSIT, OSUIT.
Okay.
Oh shut.
Yeah.
So I want to know
All right.
in graphic detail,
All right.
since this is a anime quote unquote podcast.
Yeah.
maybe a little bit of tax advice and financial stuff. But anyways,
When are we giving that away? Like, I need to listen to this podcast now.
Wait, what?
Oh, you missed that whole time of me and Ramen Cat debating Bitcoin for like 2 hours.
Oh,
last
heck
podcast.
no. Bitcoin is not finance. Bitcoin is just a pyramid scheme.
Bitcoin and GameStop.
anyways,
No.
I want to know, how did the Pyrolis start into anime and manga and all that kind of stuff, and what led you to the geekdom that is now?
Well, my dear Ramen Cat, you weren't here the entire podcast, so I understand the confusion, but you can just go listen to episode 2 of Baka-Talk.
Wow.
I ain't going that far back.
It's only 114 episodes.
I can't get past a 20 episode anime.
That's true. You are pretty ADD.
Yeah, you have to go backwards too. You have to listen to this one, then listen to the previous one, and keep going back until you hit the episode.
You listen
where
to
talk
them
about
backwards as well until you get to episode
Yeah,
2.
exactly.
And then you can listen to it
it. Forwards. Yeah.
I was around like 11, 12 in all seriousness. I started off with Inuyasha.
And then he found hentai. And he never went back.
Right after Inuyasha, I found High School DxD.
Oh, gee.
I was kind of joking about that. I forgot that was legit.
That's literally what happened. Yeah, yeah. Well, actually, not quite. It went Inuyasha, G Gundam, then High School DxD.
And he learned anime boob physics.
Well, I watched DxD because I read the light novels. I've somehow gotten my hands on the light novels. I read those, and I liked them a lot. So then I watched High School DxD, and I was like, not exactly like the light novels, but I'll follow along. It's still funny. After High School DxD, I watched this one show called Riddle of a Devil Story, which is basically, I didn't understand it at the time, but now that I do, it was basically just a lesbian story without any of the sex.
So it's like, what is it? Citrus?
I don't know what that is, but sure.
Oh.
Basically, it's this school. There's this class. Everyone's trying to assassinate this one girl in the class.
Okay.
No one knows. I
Why?
forget why. I don't know. I forget why. But they wanted to kill her. But this one girl decided she didn't want to kill the girl, and instead, for whatever reason, developed romantic feelings for her. And then she proceeded to kill everyone else.
Oh.
Yeah.
That is edgy.
That is very edgy.
It is.
That's like yandere, like lesbian.
Yeah.
That's early 2000 edgy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's called Riddle of a Devil Story.
Huh.
It's subpar. It's
Subpar.
mid.
So it's trash me.
I wouldn't call it trash, but then again, I haven't watched in forever. So
So what's above trash me? So we have trash me, which is like bottom.
I'd say the mid tier.
So it's mid me.
Yeah, mid May.
Mid-May.
It's pretty mid.
I know there's going to be someone out there screaming, like, how dare you?
What?
Yeah.
Oh, call it mid.
After that was Okusama Gesaitu Kaicho, which is the school president is my wife.
Oh, geez.
It's basically a hentai.
Yeah.
That's worse than High School Deity.
How? Why? What? How
do you
did you just start watching? Like, okay,
I
you
don't
were
know.
looking for hentai.
No, I wasn't.
You were
I
specifically
really
just
wasn't.
like.
I got my recommendations off of YouTube.
Yeah, and in the early 2000s, that wasn't that great.
Wow, YouTube was like what? Earliest was 2012.
This was like 2013, 2014.
Okay, so yeah, it's early.
That's where I got my recommendations from, YouTube. I looked up best anime, and this is what they gave me. And I watched it, and I was like, yeah, no, that was pretty subpar, I guess. Bit too much boobage for me. Not too, I mean, kind of funny, not too funny. Okasama Gesaitu Ketchu, it's all right. It's mid. It's another mid one.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of, I don't know. I'm iffy on it because I don't know. It wasn't basically the president promises casual sex would be okay and she'll disperse condoms. And I didn't like that personally because I've never been for that.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, but she's completely against sexual intercourse in general. Like she doesn't want it happening to her. It's weird. I don't get it. I don't understand.
I'm pretty sure this is just a hentai.
No, it's not a hentai. They never have the sex. Therefore, it's not a hentai. It's only a hentai if they have intercourse.
Okay, fair enough.
The sex.
And then after that was season 2 of High School DxD.
Oh, Lord.
And like Arrow Manga Sensei, stuff like that.
So when did you start watching actually good anime then?
So for a bit, I watched a lot of isekai. I don't know, Tokyo Ghoul.
That was pretty early on because I met you.
When I was
when you first came into the group, that was like the one thing.
No,
you and
I
had
met
in
him
common.
before that, and we didn't really talk much, but he referenced Tokyo Ghoul.
around 12,
First time-
13, I watched ReZero.
Have we known him that long?
No,
So I watched Sword Art Online and Tokyo Ghoul, not ReZero yet. I didn't watch ReZero till later on. It was around the time I met Wheeze because me and him referenced it a lot because that's around the time it came out.
yeah.
That was around the 2016 era, 2015, 2016 era.
Wait a second. When did I get you into anime?
2015.
I gotta get in the time machine
Oh,
and fix
geez.
this.
Because it was when I
It
still
was
went,
that long ago.
It was when I still went to Bible
Yeah.
study. When my mom forced me to be a good little Christian boy and forced me to go to Christian Bible study. So yeah, I was like 15, 16.
Yeah.
So you open the door of the church.
Does the shoot, what's his name?
Around 13, I played Nekobara.
Oh, that explains it all.
Yeah, because don't you remember one day we were at your house, Boom, and like we see it on the Steam thing, Pyrolis is playing Nekopar.
That's
and you're
because I
like,
bought
"What?"
it and Volume 4 came out and I needed to play it.
I don't know. I just remember when we first met you, we were at like a 4th of July party, and you were just that lonely little kid, well, not little kid, teenager, that had like the Magic the Gathering board game. We're
I
like,
brought-
oh boy, we're going to play it. And then
Oh,
all the
yeah.
old
Yeah.
all the old people were like scattered, panicking, like magic.
Because
upset
me
me
and my
so much.
brother, and not really so much you yet, but me and my brother, we'd gotten into magic, like
Yeah.
the actual magic. And you had the
I-
board game.
actual- Magic.
Someone got me
Yeah.
the
Black
dual deck.
magic.
Yeah, the witchcraft guy.
Yeah.
I got the board game. I forget, like, there was some reason, like,
They used to have it at Walmart all the time.
well, they
Oh,
had
yeah.
it at Walmart, but I heard that Magic was a game that people played now. Like, it was getting popular, and I saw that, I was like, that looks like a fun board game. Yeah, I'll try it. And then,
Having no idea he's playing the rip-off knockoff
yeah.
version.
And then McSnazzy Pants, I was like, oh, I'll bring this. Do you think I'm going to play it? He's like, oh, yeah, I got friends that love that game.
And we were all looking at like, hey, you got no idea how to play this.
Yeah, and
I was just like,
"All right,
there's a
sweet."
little Jace figure. That's cute.
And it was an expansion set to begin with. It wasn't even the base
Oh, it
game.
was an expansion.
Yeah,
set,
but you could
yeah.
play it as the base game. It just wasn't meant to be the base game.
Yeah.
And then you disappeared for some time, came to our martial arts thing a couple times, and then you showed up to our D&D night,
Yeah.
and Boom had his teeth, his wisdom teeth out, and we were all like, should we let him come back? He's like, yeah. And then like a crisis happened when I like didn't have internet, and now we have you.
Yeah. Yeah. I was ignored by the group for like at least 6 months before they finally accepted me.
Hey, I was fighting for you, bud, but
And I would have, I just didn't have internet.
nobody trusted me because I was currently high on Vicodin. So
I just think it's funny that like how it all kind of leads up, and I'm glad it all happened. So
Yeah, it was foreshadowing, and at the end of it, something great happened.
yeah,
I'm
we
bummed.
started a podcast.
I got Boom to watch High School,
That's true.
and I got Wheeze to watch Arrow Manga Sensei.
Hey, I only watched High School because you said you were gonna watch
And we
Evangelion,
both have-
I
and then you
tried.
only watched 4
I
episodes.
tried. I offered to watch more, but he said, no, you don't have to.
Hey,
Well, that's because you tortured me enough with the sloppy boob noises that DxD made. So
at least you and I had one thing in common. It was Tokyo Ghoul.
Oh, Tokyo Ghoul, and then we also just talked about we were going to hunt Bigfoot.
Yeah, that too. Both Pyrolis and I have like the same like we totally just
We have a-
track down monsters.
We have a
if we
wavelength
could.
of like conspiracy theory that when we are alone, it just hits a different level.
Yeah, we would like Alex Jones would follow us with a camcorder. if he could.
that's funny.
We would sit at my driveway before I was able to drive from midnight to 4 in the morning.
Isn't that kind of funny? When he first joined the group, or like our friend group and stuff, even before the podcast, he couldn't drive because he was too young. And then he got a driver's license. Now he's to the point where he can't drive again because all of his cars blew up.
Yeah.
Hey,
Did you ever tell that story?
No, I don't think.
Like
it
this
did.
is the reminiscing on Pyrolis night. So like you gotta tell that story. Like what happened? to
So
you a
for the
couple weeks
past
ago?
like month and a half at least, I haven't been able to drive because first and foremost, my Equinox. Basically, I hit a patch of ice and shot left, hit a person's yard, and my Equinox like skid through their yard, almost flipped over, but I hit and took out their newspaper box.
Oh, okay.
Then I got my vehicle out of that. The front tire was flat. I went to the house to see if anyone was home, and no one was home. So I called the cops and I called the tow company, let them know what happened. They were going to file a report. The lady ended up getting back to me like 3 weeks later. Apparently she went with her husband on some hunting trip. And that's why they were gone. But I helped her fill in the holes in her yard and stuff. And
Yeah.
she said that'd be fine. But other than that, the Equinox got towed to the shop. And I fixed the tire, patched it up, repaired it. And then that following Saturday, apparently this incident had bent the frame of my car, which I hadn't realized, which I mean, could kind of expect from almost rolling over.
Yeah.
But it was driving iffy. I tried to get in alignment, couldn't get in alignment because of the bent frame. But because of the fact that I still needed a ride to work, I was like, well, we're gonna have to go slow until I can get a new car.
Yeah.
So it was a Saturday. I was driving Friday. I drove it to work fine, no issue. But for some reason Saturday it was a bit more of an issue. Might have been because the snow might have melted and more ice or something.
Yeah.
But it kept on like pushing, like kicking out. But I was going like 20, 30. All of a sudden it kicked out too much where it like whipped my back end around. So I had to real quick oversteer into oncoming traffic. There was no one there, but into oncoming traffic lane to try to straighten out. So I got straightened out. Then I went back into my lane. When I got back into my lane, there was like a patch of ice or something just perfectly there because I went to straighten out to go forward, but it didn't straighten out. It just went further.
Just further straight.
Yeah, it just went further to the right, and then I ended up going a few feet, then hitting a tree, like a broken down tree,
Oh, gee.
and just smashed the front end of that. There was actually an ambulance right behind me. As soon as I saw the ambulance in my rearview mirror, I was like, "Oh, something's gonna happen. I can just feel it." And yeah, as soon as it happened, they like went over, pulled me out, and like, "You doing okay?" Yeah. And then I ended up getting brought to the hospital.
The part he's not put in there is he doesn't remember the trip from there to the hospital.
Oh, I remember it all.
They're checking. He's like, "You've got internal bleeding." I'm fine.
Oh no, I was perfectly fine.
There's
Actually,
literally a branch sticking out.
Yeah.
I'm fine.
That would be
Actually,
Pyrolis.
when they went to bring me down to the X-ray, apparently I have too much upper body muscle because the lady had to scan me like 5 or 6 times because my muscle in my upper body kept on blocking the X-ray.
That's funny.
So she was like, "Yeah, no, just need you to stand there. Please relax." All right, and your muscles interfered again, so we're gonna have to. I'm like, okay, all right. If I should be proud or offended by this.
What was your name, sir? Jojo.
So that was the common the not unusual crash.
Yeah.
Now you were lucky enough, and pretty quickly, especially in this day.
Oh, yeah,
you
yeah.
bought a new car.
I got a Mazda 2. I had decent credit. Not sure what it's looking like now. So
especially after this. Story.
yeah. So I got Mazda 2. It's a nice little car. It wasn't bad at all.
It was pretty nice.
2014, like 70,000 miles on it. Got it. Gas mileage. I'm liking it. It's doing great. Not a week later, the next Saturday, I get it on a Saturday. Like I got it a week after the Equinox, so I got it on the Saturday after the Equinox.
Yeah.
The next Saturday, 2 weeks after the Equinox.
Yep.
On a Saturday. I think Saturdays hate me. Anyway, on a Saturday,
Must.
I'm driving. I'm going to work. A tree falls on me. Not in the road. No warning. I'm driving, clear road, next thing I know, tree.
Yeah, I remember that.
I was so frustrated. Like, I couldn't even comprehend what happened for the first 5 seconds because driving, tree, and then I blink and I am like 100 feet away from where it hit me in the, like, off the road, just at an angle. And I'm like, what? And it broke the engine. Like, the car was not on. It didn't start, nothing. Like, it couldn't do anything. I'm just like,
That's crazy. That's like insane. Like how bad of luck that has to
I
be.
feel
My
like that
recruiter-
should be one of those things where the insurance company's like, congratulations, that was a 1 in a million hit. Here's $1 million.
Yeah,
my recruiter was like,
you're the 10,000 luckiest customer.
my
Or
recruiter
unluckiest
was like,
customer.
who did you piss off? And can you get rid of them before you join up? Like, I wasn't harmed at all somehow. Like, neither of these incidents harmed me in any way. But they destroyed, like, my vehicles were obliterated. Like, it was insane the amount of damage that occurred to them, but not to me.
Yeah.
That's actually a lot of times with car accidents and just wrecks in general. It's like a lot of times when you think somebody shouldn't make it out of it or get hurt, they're usually perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I've crashed my car in so many odd different ways where I could have swore I was like actually gonna get hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Like my windshield's gonna cave in type of thing. And no, just kind of just like got stuck in the mud at the end of it. Or like I went off a cliff when I first started driving, like a 10-foot cliff. I mean, not like one that's gonna make my car explode, but
I
it's like,
just pictured like Dukes of Hazzard or something. We'll be back after these messages.
it was raining. I went off one of these like ditch cliffs. So I went to take the curve because it was S curves. And instead of taking the curve, my car decided to try to take the shortcut and just go straight across the abyss. It didn't work. And I just kind of fell into the river. Well, not river, but like a swamp.
Versus
It was slowly.
a cliff into the raging river.
The problem was the reason I couldn't get out.
I know you were new to driving. That's all terrifying. But
Well, the reason I couldn't get out is because it was raining, and usually it's just like a small like bog or creek, but it was slowly turning into a river because of the rain. So I'm just sitting on top of my car, and people are driving by. It's like, "Hey, you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I got a tow truck coming."
I've had that happen where it's like I was driving and I went into this little dip, and it was early in the morning, so I didn't see that it was flooded because
Yeah.
it looked just like the road. I hit the water, my car stalls out, and here I am floating. And this guy like comes flying down in his truck behind me, hits the brakes, and starts playing his horn. My car is literally like floating, turning his direction. It's just like I'm sitting there in my car, like, what the heck?
Guy watches you float into the lake, still honking his horn.
Yeah, I feel like that's what would have happened. Fortunately, I had a spot where my tire could grip and I could go. But it's just
I
like,
hate that. I know exactly the spot you're talking about, and I hate that spot.
it's
so
like you just
much.
go down in this pit.
Oh, actually, the place I crashed at is in that area, but it's behind the Branchstrom Park.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, those S curves where all the 23 lakes are.
Okay.
So I was like stuck in like one of the ravines between the lakes.
So, Pyrolis,
Yes.
you got any other stories for us?
Before that, our messages from our sponsor.
Oh, yeah,
Ad
hitting break
time.
time?
Yeah, it's break time.
Oh, nice.
And we're back.
And we're back.
This is just a podcast.
A Baka
Podcast.
Thanks for
Pirate.
watching.
Pyrolis, this is all your show. Go.
All right, so
Say what you want.
back to the
It's-
orphanages.
No,
It's
we're not
the
talking about orphanages.
Pyrolis show.
I don't want to talk about orphanages. Those are depressing.
So the Pyrolis
Well,
show.
the thing is, it wouldn't be depressing if people would actually let other people adopt kids.
So
we're not getting
This is
into
we're,
All right, Pyrolis' dying wish in the army on the battlefield is that you all adopt an orphan.
No, there's already too many people wanting to adopt the orphans. It's let the paperwork not be as difficult as it is to
Fix
complete
the
get through.
adoption
Fix the process.
Anyways, so back to anime and things like that. where-
Yeah. Actually, I was going to talk about this before we got into break. The reason why I like Catgirls is because High School DxD.
Well, yeah, because you like the
Konako.
Yeah, Konako.
Yeah.
I mean, she is a cool character.
She was
Like,
cute
I don't
and
blame you.
small, and I don't know why, but ever since then, I've always liked petite characters. And then I played Nekopara, and I fell further. And then
I never noticed there's no like there's cat girls like they're all petite and stuff, but where's the chubby Maine Coon cat girl?
Yeah.
I've actually seen that.
Nekopara.
I haven't seen a Nekopara. I haven't played
Coconut.
Nekopara.
Coconut is a Mancoon. She's like taller, like really taller, like around the 5'6" to 5'8" area. And she's a bit heavier. She's not like fat, but she's got
Fluffy.
yeah, she's got the fluffy tail.
Yeah.
You should play Nekopara.
Technically,
There's family-friendly edition of Nekopara.
in a Kami ga Kill, she's not like an actual cat girl, but like her imperial gear that gives her powers are like gives her like animalistic like cat tendencies, and she's like a very tall, like filled out person.
Yeah,
Hey,
I
there's
just, like-
ReZero. There's that one girl, the maid.
Oh yeah,
She turns into a
a tiger.
Tiger, yeah.
yeah. She's not like petite
Yeah,
or
she's not
anything like
small.
that.
Like I just always wonder because all I ever see is like the tiny toothpick cat
See,
girl.
this is Coconut. She's a Mancoon.
I actually want to see. I like Maine Coons.
It's no Mancoon.
That's not a Maine Coon.
She's based off
That's
Mancoon.
like a Valley Girl version of a cat girl.
Yeah,
I've never seen a cat girl.
I'm
that tan
picturing like my Mancoon at
Mancoon.
home that's fairly chubby and just fluff on
before. Are you
top
talking
of.
about Panda?
No, Patchy.
I haven't met Patchy yet.
Patchy
I haven't been over to your
is
house
a
in long time.
adorable little ball of fluff.
You got pictures?
Not recent ones. I can get pictures.
Aw, you need to take a picture. I like Mancoons. Like that's one of the few cats I actually like.
She's not like giant like Panda. She's small. She
Yeah.
has short legs. Like
Panda
He's scrunchy.
is like half like tiger or something.
Panda scares me. He is 6 foot tall,
Oh, tail to head.
tail to head.
Oh my God.
In my mind, that is how big he is because no cat should be able to be heard when they walk through the house, and he's just like boom, boom.
He's like a JoJo character, just like walking to the house with menacing.
Here's the
shaking
bad
on
part.
screen.
There's a stray that lives around my house, and that sucker stood at the end of my driveway the other day. I named him Moose. He's bigger than Panda, and he bulldog stands.
So the inverted legs.
Yes, he just sits there like squat. I was like, oh God, this thing's terrifying.
What was that dumb book with all the cats that were like fighting or whatever? That's just like Ramen Cat's like area. It's just all these
Oh,
cats.
warrior
Warriors.
cat.
Yeah, warrior
Oh.
cats. Yeah,
I've never read that one.
This
yeah. It's
one is
a really
Suzuki.
dorky.
She's a Munchkin
story.
cat. She's the oldest of the sisters. She's my favorite
Because she's a munchkin cat?
because she's tiny. Yes.
Oh.
Huh? She's the oldest.
Yes, she's the oldest.
Huh? That's funny.
She stands about around 4'5" to 4'7",
Just like a munchkin cat.
just like a Munchkin.
I might get a munchkin cat someday.
So okay, but for a while you said you liked fox girls.
No. So I went from cat girls to fox girls.
Yeah.
I currently like fox girls more because their tails are fluffier. And realistically speaking, a cat girl would not be as cuddly as a fox. A cat girl would be more like a cat and just cuddle you when
I
they want
gotta-
to cuddle you.
Definitely go with Pyrolis on this. We both agree fox girls are best girls.
I don't know. I've seen a couple anime recently with like dog girls in it, and like
Dog girl is just obedient though. Like they will break something, not realize they broke it, then just stare at you with a dumb face, and you
Okay.
can't hate them
not
because they're
dog girl.
staring
That's
with
like a
dumb
dog
face.
itself, not
That's
a
what
dog
I mean.
girl.
That's how a dog girl. Because the thing is, they're supposed to act like how they would if how the animal acts is how they are supposed to act.
not all the time.
I was driving and I saw a cat and it ran away from the road. And I just appreciated how cats are smart because they don't run into the road like a dog or a deer or like any other animal does. Cats are like smart and it's nice sometimes, but they're also just evil.
Here's the thing, cats way back in Egypt enslaved humanity.
Yeah.
Like, hey, we can all agree that raccoon girls are like okay, at least, right?
They're decent. I prefer.
Oh yeah, you
I'd
throw them in the
rather just,
trash and see what
like,
goodies they find.
Just regular raccoons are just good enough in themselves. They're great.
You've never seen Raftalia, have you?
No, I have not.
She's like the most adorable anime character of all time.
I'll take your word for it because as the time of that anime, the internet was like, look at this girl. Look at her. Even though it's not related, look at her.
Yeah, I like fox girls, like Senko-san and the other Fox characters that are out there.
Spice and Wolf, isn't she a fox?
No,
girl?
she's a
No,
wolf.
she's a wolf.
It's in the
Oh,
name.
she's a wolf.
It's-
Okay.
She's not
Fair
even a
enough,
wolf
fair enough.
girl. She is literally just a giant
wolf goddess.
freaking wolf.
Yeah, she's a wolf goddess that took the form of a person.
Well, interesting.
It's a good anime and manga. I recommend it. That was
Yeah,
actually
I've seen a lot of
fifth one.
clips from it. I've been meaning to watch it. 'Cause
It's
it
really
looks
good. It's an
interesting.
older one, but it's really good. I like
Yeah.
it.
I've been trying to go back to some of the older ones because a lot of the newer ones are kind of boring.
It's basically just a merchant and this goddess that's trying to run away, just dinking around. And then season 2 gets political and mercantile,
Political,
like
and-
stock wise.
Oh, like inventory or like
Like they go to the
Bonds.
city square and like, so the stock of this right now, this is how much this is worth. And like, I want to buy this much of this business so that way I can prove that man over there wrong because he's trying to steal my wife.
oh, okay, that type of stock.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Waifu stock.
Waifu stock.
You know, foxes are cunning, they're cute, adorable, fluffy. It's mainly the fluffiness I'm after. The fluffiness and the fact that they won't kill me if I pet them for too long.
Like cat girls.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
a cat girl.
See, that's where dog girls come in. Like they won't kill you for
Yeah, but they will just tackle you upon seeing you and pin you down.
That's not so bad.
It is when you want to get stuff done.
Boom makes the mistake of adopting Great Dane dog girl. Woof.
Like a dog girl just
I feel like that just goes into like Dommy Mommy like territory.
yeah, no, fox girls all the way. They are smart, conniving, sensible,
Sassy.
sassy.
See, the only fox girl I know of is Senko-san. So I don't
They
know
on
any
many
other-
bases. Like kitsunes, for example. Like there's a lot of
I don't consider kitsunes fox girls.
No,
because
kitsunes
they're
are.
they're a fox
they're a
girl.
spirit.
Kitsunes are the start of the fox girl
Yeah,
thing. We're
they-
we're not talking fox girl like one swooshy tail. We're talking like 9 swooshy tails.
They're
Well,
fox girls.
That's not a fox girl. That's a kitsune.
Maybe that's
though.
what Pyrolis is talking about.
Fo-
Kitsunes for the win.
Like I like kitsunes. I watch plenty of anime of kitsune, and they're cool. Like
Kitsunes
Awesome.
start off with one tail, and then they eventually get more as they get more and more.
yeah, it's
powerful.
per age.
Yeah,
I think it's something like every 1,000 years or something.
It depends on
but
story.
no,
to
kitsunes
story.
are fox girls. That is a confirmed fact.
No, I think fox girls are kitsunes, or at least based off of that, because I don't know.
I'm googling it right now.
Sure.
Technically, the Neko or Cat Girls was based off an old legend of a thing called the Baka-Neko, which was a vampiric cat in some
Yep.
stories.
It was basically a Nekomata was a two-tailed cat, and then eventually some hentai artists along the way turned it into a person, and then it went from there.
Just like Egypt.
Same thing with like dog girls and stuff. There's a legend of a Inu spirit that's like a dog person. Kind of
Fox girl
like the
slash
black,
kitsune.
kind of like the black dog tail, but it's Japanese.
Yeah, they're listed as fox girl / kitsune.
Okay,
So, I win.
sure.
We win.
Apparently, kitsunes are also known as, depending on the lore, they're classified as werefoxes.
Yes.
Because I guess it makes sense. It's a person turned into a fox, technically.
Well, and the basis of it's whether it's not Lancrothy because that's wolf form. They have a different word for it when it's a cat, but same thing. Because there's an American tale of an actual cat woman.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, a Michigan tale as well.
That's a DC comic, I think.
That's different. That's Panther.
Oh, I think he was talking about Catwoman.
Oh yeah.
Also, you just really teed off every Marvel fan out there.
What? No, there's like
He
a,
said-
there's a
he's-
Panther.
He said DC.
Yeah, there's a Panther character in
Isn't-
DC.
There's Catwoman. Okay, there's Catwoman.
There's Tigress as well.
Catwoman is DC, isn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's Marvel has another Catwoman. Are they both
Black.
Black Cat? Black Cat's Marvel.
Yeah, Black. I don't even know the story of Black Cat, but
She likes Spider-Man
yeah,
and steals stuff.
I think she's a mutant of some type.
I don't know.
So, anyways, aiming that deadly spotlight back at Pyrolis, right in the eyes, right in the retina.
my glasses, no, they're magnifying everything. That's one thing I'm excited about. I'm getting new glasses.
Nice. Finally, after how many years?
Like 4.
Yeah.
Paid by your tax dollars. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for supporting me.
What are you talking about? I don't pay taxes.
Yeah, IRS. I got them.
He's been playing you for all these years.
Hey, I missed the part in life where I wouldn't have to pay taxes. So
I've been paying taxes since 13.
I didn't mind it. I was like, oh boy, tax returns. I'm going to go do something that's not. It's like, oh boy, tax returns. They gave me 25 cents.
Yep.
Dude, last year,
Well-
they took money from me.
They've been taking money from me from the last couple of years.
I made too much.
Well, actually, it's kind of funny. Last year, the U.S. government gave me back $100,
Nice.
but the Michigan state wanted $100. So my tax lady is like, "Do you want it as a check, or do you want me just to transfer it over?" And I'm like,
So for
just
for
transfer.
those of you who are listening outside the United States, we get taxed for our taxes.
Yeah. Last year, both federal and state wanted me.
"Oh, that was me a couple years ago, where I wanted they wanted over $4,000 from me."
They don't want that much from me, but they
just-
wanted like
If I didn't think I'd land me a person, I'd just write it down. I'm like, how about no?
it was like
Just
400 or 600.
Just mail them an Uno card, and then if,
Reverse.
No,
and suddenly you have $4,000.
Anyway, about the IRA and our funding it.
What? I didn't do it. I am innocent. Don't give me that look.
you breathed, so I looked at you.
Oh, I watched Cyberpunk Edge Runners.
I was wondering if you did or not, because you've been talking about
Yeah.
Cyberpunk, the video game.
Yeah.
It's funny, as soon as you watch me play it, you're like, I wonder if this is on sale.
Yeah, because I was always interested in it, but I never like.
I honestly always thought you were like anti-cyberpunk for some reason.
Was it was it the fact that when I was leveling up, and then as soon as I got out of my inventory, I got ran over by a car? Is that what did it for you?
It was Cyberpunk has always been one of those things where I was curious as to whether it was worth the money.
Yeah.
And no one that I knew has ever bought it, and I've just been hearing bad things about it. He's never talked about it in front of me.
Well, fair enough.
So like
Cyberpunk.
so
You've had it for over 2 months now, right?
Yeah.
but like you had got it,
Yeah.
and I watched you play it, and you seemed to enjoy it.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, if it's on sale, then it might be worth trying it out then.
You got it for like $3 less than I did,
Yeah,
which I'm kind of mad about.
Did you cry at the end of Act 1?
yeah,
You're
Because I
past
cried.
Act
Cry.
1?
but I almost did. Yeah,
Man,
Yeah.
I'm not even like halfway through Act 1. I just got to the nightclub.
See, do you guys agree though? Act 1 is a little too big for being an intro.
I don't know. I can't
I
tell
like
if I'm supposed to just like run
didn't
off in
know
the
it
city
was
and
an
do
intro.
something else. Or
I had no clue it was an intro. Like it got me like, oh, okay.
Is that legit just an intro? Like, should I be just doing that story right now, or should I like go off?
Yeah,
and do
you
my
can
own-
go back and do the other stuff.
Okay, that's what I was wondering.
You might want to level up a little bit,
Yeah.
but
So it feels like, I don't know, because like I'm used to Elder Scrolls games where it's like there's almost like a set point where you're like, okay, just go do whatever you want.
yeah.
Like it's either like escaping the dungeon, escaping the vault, something like that. But in this game, it's just like it just kept on like giving me story. I was just like, when do I like go do my own thing?
Monday, I installed Cyberpunk, and then proceeded to get
And then Tuesday he became a choom.
Tuesday. No, today's Wednesday. So Monday, I started it. It crashed on me. So I was like, okay, I'll go watch Cyberpunk Edge Runners instead.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I started it, got to like episode 4 before it was 2 a.m. I had to go to bed. Then the following day, I finished it,
Yeah.
and that put me in an emotional low.
Yeah.
And then I proceeded to play Cyberpunk, and it has put me in another emotional low.
Like I
And
feel like
then I
I'm
had to shave my beard, so emotional low part.
Yeah.
I'm like the only person that didn't walk away from it depressed. I was like, this is beautiful.
I cried. I was bawling.
Like to me, it was just like I loved the anime. It's one of my favorite anime.
It's
but
definitely great. I'm surprised Netflix actually pulled off something good, but I think it's because it wasn't done by Netflix. It was just funded by Netflix.
That and the studio working on it was like, we do this on our terms.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Studio Trigger is just like, I do my own thing and like screw anybody else.
Yeah. And I like that they did that.
Yeah, it was such a good show. Like the story and stuff, the pacing. I thought the pacing was maybe a little off, but I mean it's Trigger. Trigger's always like they'll go from slow to like high intensity real quick.
I didn't like the time skip from 6 to 7.
Yeah, me neither.
My only complaint with the pacing is I don't like that there was the time skip and no explanation for the time skip.
Yeah, I was expecting at least a little bit of a flashback,
Yeah.
and it didn't even seem like we got much of that.
I
so.
think because it's pretty much, it would be redundant from those 2 points. Like,
It's not redundant
that
for me. Just give me 5 minutes
Well,
of what's going on.
you know that David became like basically a merc at that point, and
I wanted to watch
he's
him get the
still-
buff.
He's still doing that, so
Well, yeah, but I would have liked at least a moment. I think it would have helped his character more, and maybe I would have, because honestly, like the ending of it. This is an old enough show, right? Where we can talk about
I'd
spoilers.
say so.
Like the ending of him dying, I felt like I didn't even like get that sad about that part of it.
yeah.
I was
'cause
more sad about everything else
I
that
don't-
happened around it, but
Really, the emotion I think you're supposed to feel for that is more for like Lucy.
that's what I was
She's
feeling.
like, life is kind of starting to come together a little bit, and now it's like she's
That whole
she's
scene-
trying to hold on to everything.
That whole scene on the moon, that's just when I lost it. I was just like, no, I can't. I'm done. Why did you do this to me again, Trigger? Every single time they show the moon in their freaking anime, I just start crying.
For me, it felt like we didn't get enough time. Like I felt emotional, but I feel like we didn't get enough time where it was fully justified.
Well, that's what I was saying. Like,
It probably
his sacrifice felt more like a stupid kid move
Yeah.
than maybe him actually trying to help his friends, like they were trying to go towards. Like, I wanted a flashback of him deciding to become the leader, like a head merc,
Yeah.
because of his friends, because of Lucy, because of Rebecca and such like that.
yeah.
That's what I think. Just even adding like a small 5-minute flashback of that would have done it so much better.
I think they didn't do that just because really you're supposed to have played the game before you ever watched the show, and it's trying to go on that thing of, well, kind of like when you talk to the guy in the video game when you're like setting up the big job at the beginning.
Oh yeah.
Nobody wants to die a quiet death and be forgotten. Everyone wants to go out in a blaze of glory and be like the next Johnny Silverhand or Atom Smasher.
Right.
They want to be the next legend. So it's like, I think that's kind of what it was, is David kind of got tired of being on the bottom of everything. So he's just like, all right, I'm going for the top.
Well, he was following the dreams of other people. He never
Yeah.
was able to establish his own dream.
Yeah.
Which is why I feel like the death that he got was undeserved, because I feel like he didn't prop himself into being that much of a legend in time.
Yeah. Although the video game would like to differ, because you do get his jacket and you do get Rebecca's gun at the end.
Well, he does, like, in the game, he's a
You get
legend.
Rebecca's gun?
Yeah.
Like, which one of her guns?
Your shotgun.
Oh, cool.
Falco gives it to you.
Wait, how do you get the shotgun?
I think it's a package he delivers to you at some point.
But, like, how would you get that? Because that was smashed by Atom Smash.
The gun wasn't smashed by Adams.
Oh, that's right. She was using machine guns at that point. She
well, like
wasn't
you
using
saw her
shotgun.
rifle, you saw her firearm aside from her while her body was just obliterated. I'm surprised her body survived that.
I did see a fan comic of
The
her surviving
happy ending.
the happy ending where she's like got like just cyberware now, where her body got blown apart. I'm like, I really wish that would become canon, because Rebecca was like the one I felt the worst about.
Her brother died and then she got smacked.
Her brother died. She was like one of the few anime characters I've actually seen where she wasn't that annoying, like, oh, the main character's gotta love me. Like, she shot her shot, and then she just became that very supportive friend character,
Yeah.
which was like very wholesome to watch. And then like she just ended up dying for almost like no reason.
I do kind of like the fact that like some deaths are pointless, in a sense, because that's just how cyberpunk is. People,
I mean, that is true.
there's a
It's
lot
very
of crime, so
cyberpunk.
there's a lot of pointless death.
Yeah.
That's just the
I mean,
society of it.
Really, they didn't have to do what they did with Jackie in the game.
Yeah.
That's true.
He could have just kept going with you, but it's like it wouldn't have had the same.
It wouldn't have had the weight.
Yeah.
Like, the stakes are very high in this city. We're risking it, and Adam Smash is a very powerful person.
Yeah.
Everyone understands that, and they understand the risks.
Yeah, I feel like that's why they killed Rebecca like that, is because they want to show like how devastating Adam Smasher is. Because like throughout the whole rest of the series, we saw Rebecca just annihilate like whole gangs and stuff like
Yeah.
that pretty easily. Like she's laughing through 90%.
She was even laughing as Adam Smash is coming out, like, how dare you?
Yeah. Did you watch it subbed or dubbed?
Subbed.
Ah, the only one that's watched it dubbed so far.
I started to watch it with my brother dubbed, and I was like, I can't do this, man. I can't stand their voices.
Oh, it's
I
so
did
good
the-
dubbed. Like they did a good job dubbing it.
I couldn't stand Rebecca's
I
voice.
did-
Rebecca
the
was
thing.
great.
I did the thing where I watched part of it dubbed, part of it subbed.
Yeah.
In my opinion, subbed is definitely better than dubbed.
I don't know.
Also, like, just some of the dialogue made more, felt a little
Yeah.
bit more natural subbed.
Yeah.
I think me and Weez were kind of talking about this
Yeah.
on the way here. With dubbed, they try to copy the inflections of Japanese people's voice way too much. It doesn't
Instead of
feel.
adjusting it.
Yeah.
They should just do what they're trying to do and just dub it.
'Cause
Make it sound American.
I was thinking about like, why do I like cartoon voice actors, but I don't like dub voice acting? And it's because they copy like the Japanese inflection. So you get these characters that are like, I'm gonna do this, and nobody talks like that. Like it's so awkward to
Yeah.
hear somebody talk like that, because in Japanese they talk like that, but their language is so different, and it just fits better. But the other thing they have to do is copy the lip flaps, and that makes it really awkward sometimes, because
Yeah.
they always have to deliver it in like a weird choppy way sometimes. And then as soon as like moves a shot to like something else, you can tell the voice acting gets better because they don't have to copy the stupid lip flaps anymore.
Yeah. That's true.
Meanwhile, like Bakano and
Yeah,
Cowboy
Baka-No.
Bebop, they didn't follow where they had to copy the lip flaps or the voice inflections. They just did their own thing.
Yeah,
and
like
they did great.
They sounded more natural. They put their own like American. I feel like they have to make it more American, which is kind of weird like to say, but like they have to make it sound more just normal in the voice acting. I feel like they copy the Japanese too much.
See, I don't know. I always have this kind of rule of thumb that if an anime is based off of an American thing, or it's like something that's kind of based in like an English speaking thing or an American, like Cyberpunk, to me it'd be weird watching Cyberpunk in Japanese just because the Cyberpunk game is English. It's technically set in America and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like even if technically the voice acting is kind of off compared to like Japanese voice acting, to me it still fits more.
Arasaka just messed with everyone's programming, so now they all speak Japanese.
Also, that guy that played the guy that played in Breaking Bad. What's his name? The guy that's the head of the fast food joints. He played Moff Gideon as well.
Oh, Giancarlo Esposito.
He was the info broker with the 3 eyes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, that is cool. I've heard they like sometimes you can tell too when they have like big voice acting names, they do a good job. But I don't know, just dubbing is difficult because of like matching the lip flaps and stuff like that.
Yeah, he voices one of the info brokers. What is it? What's his name? Trying to look up it now.
Processing.
Oh, you're talking about Faraway, aren't you?
Yeah, Faraway.
Yeah, three-eyed guy, Faraway.
Yeah, Faraday.
Yeah.
Yep. So he did a really good job, and also I did like Rebecca's voice actor as well, because for once it wasn't a lolly character that sounded like she was 12. Like she actually sounded like she was like a full-grown like person to me.
Yeah, just her voice sounded whiny to me.
I don't know. Like how did her voice sound like in Japanese?
That's another issue when it comes
Japanese.
to like characters like Rebecca and when they try to dub them, they always make them try to mimic the way that they sound in Japan in the subbed.
Yeah.
But like
I don't know. She didn't seem like she's being forced at all. She just seemed kind of like that.
Well, I'm not saying for Cyberpunk because I've never watched a dub for Cyberpunk,
Yeah.
so I'm not sure. But in general,
Yeah.
like the characters like that usually sound it. they have a higher pitched voice.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like most younger, like most teenage girls or like the girl characters in dubbed animes, they sound like they're like a 20-year-old trying to be forced to sound like a 12-year-old.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they should
Like that
Just-
overexcited, happy voice.
they should just have to sound natural, is what it is.
Yeah.
Because we use our voice in different ways, and how the Japanese use their voice to inflict our emotions on things.
Yeah. Well, also it's like Japanese voice acting, even for like regular Japanese voice actors, like anime, they just talk completely different.
Yeah.
It's so over the top
because it is like a performance. And
It
the way
is,
that they
yeah.
perform is different than the way we perform.
Yep. Where it's just like in our cartoons, where all the characters talk super fast and like hyper.
Yeah.
That's anime is just like that for Japanese.
Yep.
Unless I'm wrong, and then Japanese people can yell at me in the comments.
Japanese, I think in anime is kind of slower than it is
Really?
in real life. Yeah.
Okay.
If you listen to a real, like an actual conversation, it's just like, it's kind of more messy, and they're really back and forth really fast. They'll just
Yeah.
be like, this, and the other person's like, this. Like, it's kind of like if you hear
Yeah.
Spanish, it's similar to,
Well, it's just like when we talk to friends real quick.
Yeah.
Like, we use so many filler words,
yeah.
like the word like and and stuff.
All
like
right, Chumer.
that. All right.
I know it's like,
So I couldn't imagine
Slayer.
being a native, like born in Japan speaking person listening to like the slow speakers.
yeah.
Like you know what the people I'm talking about, the characters that speak super slow, like the
Oh,
mage
yeah.
from Goblin Slayer. Like how slow she speaks.
yeah.
That would have to be like an eternity.
Probably.
That's another thing. Like with the Mage and Goblin Slayer, in subbed it sounds all right, but it's just so awkward and dubbed.
It is.
Yeah.
Dubbed, it sounds very awkward. I did watch it. I watched some clips dubbed, and it's so weird.
It's just we need to realize that there's a much better way to translate the language. Like when we watch Tanya the Evil in German,
Yeah.
that sounded way better than the English dub.
Yeah.
I think,
Well, it's like there's shows like Hellsing.
Yeah.
Like Hellsing, they do their own thing. They have their own actors. You can tell some of them are doing bad accents and stuff like that, but
Yeah.
like it sounds natural.
Yeah.
yeah.
And then you also listen to it, like it's almost so natural to the point that when you listen to the actual subbed, the Japanese version of Hellsing, it's like, why am I watching the bootleg version of Hellsing?
Look at any abridged.
Yeah.
Like abridged puts, I feel like most abridges put more effort into dubbing the voices than the actual dubbing studios, because a lot of them end up even mimicking, not mimicking, but changing how the mouth moves.
Yeah.
So that way it's more natural. Whereas our dubbers are forced to match their words with the flaps of the character most of the time.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if a YouTuber can do this and he might not get paid, why are our studios that are being paid to do this not doing this?
That's true. Yeah. I don't know. I think we've talked about this lots of time on the podcast, so I don't want to dive too far into it, but it's just what big corporations, what the CEOs and like the board members think is going to make them money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Like
understand.
it's
that.
any
They just-
corporation. It's just like
Yeah.
if they don't think it's going to be a good return on investment, then they're not going to put the manpower into it.
Idiot corpos.
Because like dubs are like, they're watchable, they're
Yeah.
fine, they're like decent, but they're not like really good.
No.
You know, like when you hear voice acting on like a normal Western cartoon, the voice acting's really good.
Yeah.
Like the actors just sound natural. You can just really get into the characters because they just feel like
Oh yeah,
Like
if
their
you watch
character.
a cartoon like Transformers or
Or like
stuff
Yeah.
like that,
SpongeBob.
you're just like,
yeah,
what
and like
the heck?
SpongeBob, yeah, they feel like the characters. And
Yeah.
when you watch a dub, it's so hard for me to not think there is someone in the booth copying this guy's lip flap, trying to
Yeah.
sound like this Japanese voice.
Especially when you have a huge cast. Like, I mean, My Hero Academia does not have a bad dub whatsoever. Actually, I really like the dub. I mainly watch My Hero Academia in dub. But you can tell a lot of the times, especially in like, if it's being like one of the episodes that's simul-dubbed,
Yeah.
you could tell that it felt like, because there's a bunch of characters, and usually they're all on the same they're all in the same like scene sometimes.
Mhm.
So you can tell a lot of the voice actors just sound the same because they're just trying to get out their words.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, boy character number 5 sounds just like boy character number 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right, Pyrolis. It's almost time for quitting time. So is there any last words you want?
Oh, sorry,
Last
Kanguru.
words.
Like anything you want to wrap up on the podcast? Like anything?
Just like what you like. I mean, in general, just don't let yourself fall to the norms of society. Just like what you like. Don't get pushed into the box that people try to put you in.
Oh, okay. I wasn't expecting those words of wisdom. but-
Unless you dislike something I like, then screw you.
Yeah, don't listen to Wheeze. Just be
yeah,
you.
don't listen to Wheeze. That's the main
the
words.
final
of Wheeze.
advice.
In this day and age, humanity in general has lost the peculiarity that each one of us is supposed to have.
Yeah.
And we've just started falling into this pace of trying to become like the next person so that way we're not out of place.
Yeah.
When really the best thing we can do is be out of the norm.
Yeah, that's true.
Because when we're out of the norm, better ideas flow, and you just feel better when you are yourself versus when you're trying to force yourself to be something else.
Yeah.
So just do you.
That's good words of wisdom. Nice.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you're doing something like in actual real life that's going to be very out of the ordinary, especially in this day and age, because very low percentage of our,
Yeah.
I guess, younger generation.
Multiple reasons. I think I might actually get my contract erased if I go into a thing that might get posted.
What?
You
You just totally like, I don't get what you just said.
being part of the army, I'm not allowed to speak out on certain things that might deem me more radical.
Oh, I get what you're saying.
So if it seems like I'm supporting something that might be radical one way or the other, especially if it's something the government is supporting, they might just worst come to worst, I might end up in Guantanamo Bay or something.
Okay. Well, that was totally just a left field comment, but okay. I was just congratulating you on doing something
I know.
out of the ordinary.
No, I know, but you mentioned the lower numbers, and there's, like I said, there's multiple reasons for that, but I don't think I can go into that due to my reasons, the reasons that are out there not really being the reasons people like, therefore they're not talked about.
I just realized.
You're pleading the fifth.
We'll be able.
You could just say that.
We'll be able to have that government agent on that says I can't declassify that when we ask
Oh yeah,
you questions.
it's you're since I'm technically still your employee, you're legally obligated to give me a call as soon as you know the nuke's launched.
I mean, I think I would do that anyway unless they took my phone from me.
Fair
In which
enough.
case,
Just smoke flared or something like that.
smoke
He
flare
would
from the
hop-
middle of the Pacific.
Pyrolis would
hope you can
hop
see this,
on.
Mom.
He would hop on the nuke and ride it and be like, "Guys, it's on its way."
I'm just watching it like one cloud at a time, just floating through the sky. Like, boom, watch out.
I'm just trying to control it like a bull. Like, no, to space with ye.
You're just like that from that old show, the cowboy riding the
Oh, yeah.
nuke down. Well, cool. Yeah. How about any words for your new co-host that's gonna be replacing you?
I mean, he's been here for a while. I think he's got the ropes handled. He's even got my headset.
I do.
Yeah, you got
Didn't
my.
notice.
You got my headset, which is technically like his headset 'cause it's the same type.
It's the same thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
So I think you're gonna do great. You don't have that big of. I mean, you already filled my shoes. We wear exactly the same exact shoe, same size and everything. We actually ended up getting them mixed up a few times.
That's true.
So I think you're gonna fill my shoe just perfectly, the way you have been for at least 1 week.
That might have been confusing for some people because technically we interviewed you one day as just like a friend of the podcast. And then right after that, you kept on coming consistently.
I was supposed.
And for the people that maybe are confused by that just a little bit, what happened
I was
is
supposed
you
to
were
leave.
supposed to leave in
Yes.
October.
November. I was supposed to leave in November.
Oh, in November. And I had you on the podcast in October because I'm like, okay, I'm going to give Ramen Cat like 3 weeks to get used to the podcast.
Yeah.
And then you just never left.
No, basically, the medical team, the civilian medical doctor who is not an optometrist, I think is the word for it, the eye doctors, She's not certified for eyes.
Okay.
Or he, I forget which one it was. But whoever it was said that I had a lazy eye. Well, come December, when the actual eye doctor got me in, he looked at me and right away and said, yeah, they don't know what they're talking about. He actually got really mad because he didn't like the fact they were wasting my time, and I could have already been gone, and I could have been almost out of boot camp.
Yeah.
Like he was mad that they made me wait for that long.
Right.
Because it was
you were actually waiting almost a month.
Yeah.
So that
because it's government. They take forever to schedule in jobs for healthcare, and yet government healthcare is
plead the fifth.
I plead the fifth.
Okay, there we go. Anyway, so that was a weird story. That's why Ramen Cat's been on the podcast for such a long time. It's not that we wanted to move towards like 4 people or anything like that. I actually kind of think 4 people is a little much sometimes.
Yeah.
Because like today, Weez hardly ever spoke anything. I think you've spoken like 3 sentences.
I know, but they
hour
were
and 20 minutes.
They were good freaking sentences.
They were on fire.
They were fire.
They were
Yeah,
fire.
like follow the norm and don't like what I like.
Don't like what I dislike.
And
Yeah.
screw you if you disagree.
Screw
with me.
you with it if you disagree. with it.
Fire opinions,
Yeah,
just all fire
absolute
opinions.
fire.
Well,
The
cool.
best opinions.
Well, cool. It's cool having you on the podcast as one of the founding members. It's always
the
going to be
end of
remembered.
an era.
You got past 100 episodes. That means you automatically
Yep.
will maybe be remembered in the next 5 years.
Exactly.
Wow.
As soon as he leaves, we strike big and we're all like millionaires. And then he's just like, "What, but guy?"
And don't worry, the moment I want 12%.
Whoa, wait, 12% of what?
I want 12% profit of every episode in which I was in moving forward if we get big.
I bought you out, remember?
I'm still an employee and this is my voice.
You will get back pay. I don't know if it'll be 12% back pay, but we'll see.
It's okay.
That's off-air talk.
I'll rob his bank account for you.
All right, thank you.
You get
and then
50%.
Just wait for the
When I
big
get back-
Baka-Talk lawsuit when.
Talk.
When I get
I'll be on CoffeeZilla.
Yes.
One of the scammers.
when I get back from my with PTSD, of course, I'm like, and then we went into the mission field in like a robotic voice, and that is when we saw Osama bin Laden, and we just,
We'll have to blur your face and like
blur my face
fake
by
your
it being a
voice.
podcast.
Yeah, it's an audio podcast. We'll blur your face just in case.
Yeah, I'll wear a bag over my head and it'll be robotic. I'm like, I remember when I put people's heads in bags like this.
Oh Lord. All right. Well, besides for that, I mean, you're hosting this episode, so you gotta.
All right.
Make
Any
us
final
expand.
words, Boom?
Nope. Just good job. Cool having you on the podcast for such a long time, and hopefully you have fun in the military.
All right. And Ramen Cat?
Oh, just hope everything goes how you want it, and good luck.
Oh, don't get Starship Troopered.
Yeah, don't. If it comes to bugs, switch to that like rifle out for a heavy bolter.
Yes.
I've played enough StarCraft. I'll swap to Flamethrower.
Okay.
Well, that's still
Well,
Warhammer.
If
but-
you get StarCraft or like StarCraft or Starship Trooper, just good luck.
All right.
Don't die.
Wheeze?
Hi. I got nothing.
All right. You're not going to say bye to the audience?
Jam meow.
All right. You've heard it here, folks. Wheeze says John Meow to the audience.
yeah.
On that, yeah. Stay out of the normals. Believe in time travel. Goodbye.
Yeah.
Oh, Sai Kunguru.
All right. See you all later.
Good night, everybody.